We are excited to have you all at Welsh-Ryan Arena today. My name is Sean Dennison. I'm a member of the Northwestern Athletics Communications team. It is my honor to be here with you all today. Welcome to our guests, members of the media, and of course, our colleagues from across campus and within the Athletics and Recreation Department. We also want to extend a sincere welcome to Wildcat fans around the world watching live on Big Ten Network. One quick housekeeping note. If we could ask you to turn your cell phones to vibrate, that would be greatly appreciated. We'll jump right in. Here's the run of show for today. We will begin with opening remarks from Northwestern University President Michael Schill, followed by the new Combe family Vice President of Athletics and Recreation, Mark Jackson. After their remarks, we will have a brief photo opportunity, and then members of the media in attendance will have the opportunity to ask some questions. It is my great honor to introduce Northwestern President Michael Schill. Thank you, President Schill.
I would like to welcome all of you to an important day in the storied history of Northwestern athletics and Northwestern University. It has been quite a week. I hope all of you were able to see the football game on Saturday. What a venue. What a game. The new Northwestern Medicine Field at Martin Stadium sparkled in the lakefront, showcasing our beautiful campus. And depending upon where you were sitting during the game, the skyline of the most beautiful city in the world. And we won. What a game. After that, our men's soccer team had a thrilling come-from-behind victory on the same field. Just hours after, our field hockey team also won in a shutout. We're truly on a roll. In June, when we announced that Derek Gregg would be taking on a new role at Northwestern, and we are all grateful for everything that Derek has done during his tenure as athletic director, we began a comprehensive national search for a new Combe family vice president and director of athletics. That process was led by trustee Chip Morris. And on behalf of the Northwestern community, I want to express my sincere gratitude to Chip for his wisdom, for his enormous good heart, for the care, the effort, and the leadership that led us to today's announcement. Chip, thank you so much. Now, Chip was joined on the search committee, by Professor Jerry Cadava, head women's lacrosse coach Kelly Amonte-Hiller, and trustees Kip Kirkpatrick, Wendy Nelson, and Pat Ryan Jr. I want to thank each of them for participating in an inclusive and collaborative search process. I also want to thank Len Perna and his team at Turnkey ZRG, who were instrumental in helping us find a tremendous slate of candidates. Finally, I want to thank Board of Trustees Chair Peter Barris for his partnership and friendship in everything that I do, including this decision. I want to thank the entire Board of Trustees for their support of Northwestern athletics. And I want to thank Julie Allen, right over there, our board secretary and advisor, for her wonderful work in bringing this search to a successful conclusion. Now, from the moment I stepped on campus, I have been amazed by our university's relentless pursuit of excellence in every endeavor, and that includes our athletics program. The Northwestern athletics program is unique among D1 universities. We are a top 10 academic institution playing in a division of incredible strength and prominence. We are committed, all of us, to doing athletics the right way without compromising our academic priorities. And what makes me even prouder than a win-loss record of our various teams, and I'm very proud of those win-loss records, is that our graduation rates are reliably tied for best among FBS schools. And that means something. The new athletic director would need to be a leader, someone who would embody our values, that education is even more important than winning, that education includes both book learning as well as leadership skills, that ensuring student athletes are safe and that their mental and physical needs are taken care of is always priority number one. Ultimately, we found everything that we were looking for and more in Mark Jackson. I won't recite Mark's illustrious resume right now, but it includes being a part of national championships in basketball at Villanova, in football at USC, providing educational initiatives and programming for student athletes, developing new business models for college athletics, and leading significant fundraising campaigns. I knew from the moment that I met Mark that he shares Northwestern values. And we believe strongly that we have unique and strong Northwestern values, that he will prioritize our students' welfare, that he will do everything in his power to help them succeed while they're here and in life afterward. He is a tireless supporter of student athletes. He is a tireless supporter of his coaches and of the staff who works for the athletic department at Villanova. Simply put, I am just delighted to have Mark join the Northwestern family. You can also join the faculty if you write a couple articles. Now, if you met Mark at the football game on Saturday, you already know the energy that he is going to bring to the Wildcats. I want to thank the entire athletic staff for their hard work in making this transition go smoothly, and in particular to Pat Goss, who has done an incredible job welcoming Mark to Northwestern. Thank you, Pat. Pat, thank you. So today, we begin a new chapter in Northwestern athletics, and I am proud to formally introduce the new Combe family Vice President and Director of Athletics, Mark Jackson.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you so much, President Schill, for those kind words, and thank you to everyone for coming out today. I'm honored, humbled, excited to serve as your Combe Family Vice President for Athletics and Recreation. I want to thank President Schill, Chair of the Board of Trustees, Peter Barris, Search Committee Chair and proud NU football alum, Chip Morris, all of the amazing members of the Search Committee, the entire Northwestern community, and even the band. Thank you. You have all entrusted me, which what I believe is one of the best positions in all of intercollegiate athletics. I've spent nearly 30 years in the business of professional and collegiate sports, and I've been fortunate to be around so many incredibly accomplished leaders and work with impactful organizations. No organization has had an influence on me and my family like Villanova University. I had the incredible pleasure and opportunity to work for President Father Peter Donahue. He is Villanova's longest tenured president and has transformed the institution with nationally recognized accomplishments on so many fronts. While I'll miss our close partnership on athletics, I'll miss his day-to-day friendship even more. I also want to thank the Villanova Board of Trustees, the donors, the fans, the faculty, and especially the student athletes, coaches, and staff through the years who have achieved so much by working together. Villanova will continue its positive momentum, and our family is blessed to have been a part of that community. Speaking of my family, they deserve the biggest thank you. 30 years in sports requires resiliency, passion, patience, and a whole lot of love, which I've been blessed to receive from my wife and best friend, Tricia, and from our 4 children, Grace, Hannah, Kevin, and Sean. They are my world and have taught me so much about compassion, empathy, competitiveness, and what really matters in life. And those same values will be at the foundation of our core and our leadership philosophy for Northwestern athletics. The decision to come to Northwestern was very much a family decision, and I'm grateful for their support. They were here all weekend and quickly adapted to wearing the purple and cheering on the Cats. The Jackson family is all in on Northwestern. I grew up in the Boston area where my parents instilled in their 4 children the importance of education and the importance of the 4 walls of our home that surrounded us and the values inside those walls being the most important things we should concern ourselves with. As a child, I found sports to be an outlet for passion, for energy, for enthusiasm, for teamwork, and once again, competitiveness. I was fortunate that what little skill I did possess allowed me to attend Colby College in Maine and play varsity football for 4 years. It was shortly after that I came to the realization the most important influences on my life, outside of my parents and my siblings, were the teachers and coaches who helped shape me. It was for that reason that I began my professional journey in sports. As you well know, this is a historic time for intercollegiate athletics as seismic changes take hold, including student athletes benefiting from their name, image, and likeness, the advent of the transfer portal, unlimited transfer opportunities for student athletes, mounting antitrust litigation, proposed congressional legislation, and the House settlement currently under review by the federal courts that would allow for schools to share significant amounts of revenue with its student athletes, amongst other provisions. But while there are significant changes afoot, the essence of what we do does not change. We develop young men and women who contribute positively to the campus and to the community, and who leave our institution with a degree, with wisdom, and the ability to change the world. From brand recognition and donor development to bringing the community together and positively impacting the lives of our student athletes, athletics at Northwestern is important and it's meaningful. And as the leader of that enterprise, I will never back away from that stance. However, I also recognize that we are just one small part of a much larger, more complex community of students, faculty, staff, researchers who are leading the way in the humanities and business and law and health sciences and across all of our academic disciplines. Our department will partner with our campus community, students, faculty, and staff, and we will do our part to elevate everyone's work. Northwestern Athletics has a clearly defined mission and purpose: a world-class academic and student-athlete experience, a winning culture in many of our sports, and a commitment to winning with integrity and class, and a strong connection to excellence in every endeavor across campus. I believe what sets us apart are not challenges, but rather opportunities. As a top 10 university with top 10 academic programs across the board and one of the most successful and influential alumni bases in the world, why should Northwestern take any other approach with athletics than to strive to be in the top echelon of athletic programs across the country? We will be competitive in the Big Ten Conference and nationally without compromising our values and our fiscal responsibilities by recruiting elite student athletes who excel in sports and want to be at Northwestern for the right reasons. From every indication and from every student athlete I have met over the last few days, we are well on our way. We will utilize our best assets, academics, faculty, staff, alumni network, location, coaches, facilities, and the value of a Northwestern degree to recruit and retain the next great generation of student athletes. We will recruit and attract and retain world-class coaches and staff who get more out of their players than their peers and who fully buy into Northwestern's mission. We will develop and implement innovative services and programming that set our experience apart, whether in performance training, medical care, technology, internships, foreign travel, postgraduate opportunities. No idea is too small. We will increase revenues through current streams and develop new ones to support our student athletes in our programs. With gratitude to the Ryan family, we will have the nation's best on-campus football stadium coming online in a few years. A stadium reimagined to maximize the fan experience. It'll provide an immediate recruiting advantage, financial stability, and a showcase for the campus, the Evanston community, and the greater area of Chicago. We will enhance our philanthropic giving, outreach in meaningful ways that elevates all of our sports programs, particularly men's football and men's basketball, which in turn drives revenue to allow us to fully support all of our other programs. Due in large part to the world-class group of head coaches and student athletes, the foundation for success is already here. Consider these achievements for just the 23-24 academic year. A graduation success rate of 98%, as President Schill alluded to, which is tied for the top mark amongst all FBS institutions and led the Big Ten for the 19th consecutive year, with Wildcats earning an incredible 278 academic All-Big Ten honors. Northwest, yeah, you can clap for that, Chip. Yeah. Northwestern won a school record 7 conference championships, and seven Northwestern head coaches were named Coach of the Year. Football had the biggest year-to-year turnaround in FBS, culminating in a bowl victory. Men's basketball advanced to the second round of the NCAA tournament. Field hockey made a 3rd consecutive appearance in the national championship. Our 8-time national championship winning lacrosse program was in that national championship as well. Student attendance was up 19% across the board at all games, matches, and meets this past year. Northwestern's University Big Ten champion softball program received a $5 million gift from Northwestern trustee and former student athlete Kip Kirkpatrick and his wife Sarah to support the construction of a new softball stadium. Our campus recreation facilities, our intramural programs, our club sports, and so much more have continued to grow and are an important part of our campus. And we will continue to ensure that campus recreation provides exceptional service, great facilities, and comprehensive programming for our students, faculty, staff, and all members of our community. These are just a handful of what Northwestern has done in the last 12 months. Imagine what the future brings. I cannot wait to build upon these successes. While many in our industry are bemoaning the dark clouds and impending storms that lie ahead, we're going to look at all of this coming as an incredible opportunity for Northwestern to thrive. We will be committed to a broad-based athletic offering of 19 varsity sports. We will not ask more of some and less of others. We must provide enough resources for success for all and not allow excuses to take hold. I've been around many championship programs on the women's and the men's side. and rarely is their success attributable only to resources, facilities, or budgets. It's because of shared vision, commitment, and alignment. Instead of why we can't do something, we will say why we can. Make no mistake, we have work ahead of us. In the days, weeks, months ahead, I have a lot of listening to do, a lot of learning, a lot of watching, a lot of engagements with you, our staff, our students, our coaches, our donors, our alumni, our community members, our board members, to fully immerse myself into Northwestern and to learn where we excel and what we can do better. While that feedback will inform my overall vision for the athletic department, I can tell you now that our athletics department will strive to equal the excellence on campus. We will do things the right way. We will have student athletes who will make you proud. We will do our part to uplift the entire university. We will be great financial stewards, and we will win championships. When we wear that Northwestern on our chest, we will all understand the awesome responsibility that it carries. I hope you will allow me to be a great partner, one with an open door, and I hope to see many of you at our events this year. I'm so thankful that me and my family get to be a part of this incredible world-class community. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Mark. We will have a brief photo opportunity with the two of you right now. That one first.
Yeah, we've got a couple short guys.
Hey.
Shorter than you.
Then maybe if you want to flip it over.
I was thinking that myself.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Good.
Appreciate it. Thank you.
Okay. We will now take some questions from the members of media in attendance. I'd ask that you state your name and outlet. We have wireless microphones in both aisles. We will deliver them right to you so that everyone can hear your question. We will start with the voice of the Wildcats, someone who just enjoyed his 35th football opener, Dave Ennett.
Thank you, Sean. Thank you, Mark. Congratulations. You clearly had a great job at Villanova and a lot of success there. What appealed to you about this? And secondly, do you see parallels between the two situations that you can apply during this transition? Thanks.
Yeah, Dave, first, thank you for your commitment. 35 home openers, that's something else. So obviously a lot of thought went into this decision, a major decision for me and my family. We felt so much aligned with my background. There are some parallels and similarities with Villanova when you think about an elite academic profile. I think a mission that has balance. This isn't a place where winning at all costs works. I like the idea of developing comprehensive student athletes with a comprehensive collegiate experience where they touch every corner of campus, and when they graduate, they want to feel connected to a place for the rest of their lives. You know, and then the obvious ones when you think about a top 10 institution, world-class facilities, influential donor base. There are just wonderful, wonderful opportunities here to take advantage of. And the more that I got around it, and I've been paying attention to this job for a long time, it's a little bit of a no-brainer in our industry, this place, because of all the attributes that it has.
Go to Matt Fortuna next.
Hi, Mark. Matt Fortuna, The Inside Zone. You've been around great coaches at every step of your career, Jay Wright, Pete Carroll, Bill Belichick. What lessons have you taken from those over the years, and how do you apply them to Northwestern?
Yeah, I appreciate the question. We just got done meeting with our entire athletic department, and I sort of learned this the hard way. I think the one commonality amongst great coaches is a defined leadership philosophy. They know who they are, and they know what they're about. You have many of them right here. And the reason why they all have success is because they know who they are. And I think that was the best lesson learned from them. Like, I had to develop my own leadership philosophy that works, that was authentic to me. and the work that I get to do. And, there are certain commonalities amongst all the great coaches I've been around when it comes to competitiveness and energy and enthusiasm. But it's unique to who those people are as individuals, and I figured that out through them, particularly Pete Carroll, who was on me all the time to figure myself out as I was jumping around in my career, and I owe him a tremendous sense of gratitude for the influence he's had on my life, both professionally and personally.
Go to David next.
President Schill, David Gold, Inside NU. I was wondering if you could talk about why you decided to move Derek to this new athletic strategy role, and why you thought that role could not be accomplished inside the athletic department.
I missed the last part of your question, but the first part is this is a moment in intercollegiate athletics when the world is changing very rapidly. Mark alluded to that. Our job is not to sort of shake our heads and be nostalgic about the past, but to put ourselves in a position where we can think strategically about the future. And given Dr. Gragg's history, his knowledge of intercollegiate athletics, his time at the NCAA, we both felt that we could use some extra brain power in thinking about the future strategically. And so that is the reason why Derek and I decided that this would be a great position for him.
And just to follow up on that, why did you feel it was necessary to move that job outside of the athletic director's role, outside of the athletic department?
Because it's actually a advisor to the president position. Both Mark and Derek will report directly to me. And, just this is the way the world works is no one wants to take a new job and have his predecessor working right side by side. So what you want to do is Mark is going to run the athletics department. I have trust that Mark will run it in a fabulous way, and Derek will report to me and give me the benefit of his advice. But the decisions about running the athletic department are Mark and Mark's alone.
We'll go to Adam.
Yeah, Mark, Adam Rittenberg with ESPN. Welcome. You referenced some of the financial changes in college athletics, whether it's NIL, revenue sharing is coming. How does Northwestern have to position itself to compete in those areas under your leadership going forward?
Yeah, I think we have to think innovatively, creatively. As I told our department today, everybody becomes a fundraiser. Everybody becomes a recruiter. No idea is too small right now in order to the ways we think about our current revenue streams and building those, but also creating new ones. And when you're building one of the best, if not the best, college football stadium in America, that provides a wealth of opportunities to maximize revenue, enhance the fan experience, and hopefully change the way we look at college athletics. It's no secret, college athletics is a broken financial model. Most programs don't generate revenue net positively, right? So the way we look at the structure of our department is something we're going to spend a lot of time on. I think none of us got in this business, at least at my age, to think about generating revenue like a business 24/7. But now there's a big end of that department that needs to think that way, and that's the approach we're going to take. Although we don't have, one of the biggest bases, across the Big Ten, in fact, we have the smallest, we have unbelievable resources. I mean, I look at a guy like Chip and all that he's done with his career. This is a really innovative mindset around business, and we know Kellogg's reputation, we know our alumni's reputation. There's a wealth of opportunities for us to tap into to creatively and innovatively think differently about how we create revenue than to give back to our programs, our student athletes.
We'll go to Andy next.
Hi, Mark. I'm Andy Seligman, Associated Press. I'm just wondering what concerns, if any, did you have about the scandal that came up last year? And along those lines, how much of your job right now is kind of as a healer to help heal the community?
To be honest, I'm not brought up to speed. I know with what happened last summer that's under litigation. I'm not able to talk about any of it. But, look, throughout any college athletic department, you can point to struggles and sometimes tarnishing of a brand through a crisis. And those are learning opportunities. I've gone through some of those myself. And as I mentioned to our staff this morning, you know, doing the right thing isn't always easy, but it's always right, and we're going to commit to that. You know, are we going to be perfect? Probably not, but we're going to proactively educate around the pitfalls around everything, whether that's academic integrity, you look at gambling today, you know, what consent means on a college campus. There's all kinds of pitfalls that we have to consistently talk about and educate around, and we'll do that. And sometimes my voice gets old, or our head coaches' voices get old, and we got to find innovative programs or people to come in and get in front of our student athletes and our coaches to educate us. So we'll take a very proactive approach to education.
We'll go to Louis next.
Hi, Mark. Louis Vicaire with WildcatReport.com. Welcome to Northwestern.
Thanks, Louis.
So my question's around, you know, NIL you mentioned as one of the seismic changes around the sport. You know, what is your philosophy around the AD's role in NIL, and how do you think NU is positioned right now, and what needs to be done to take it to the next level?
Good question. So the word that I keep coming back to as it relates to all these new changes is alignment. And we have to be aligned, you know, from President Schill to the board to the athletic department if we're going to have success in this new era and what that approach is. NIL plays a huge role in that, right? Right now, the collective sits outside of the athletic world. We'll see when the House case settles whether or not that sits inside or outside. It was one of the first phone calls I made was to the collective to, you know, learn more about it. I think we are behind comparatively to some of the competition that we go up against. But again, I think we have all the right people in place, and we'll have a vision around that to maximize revenue for our student athletes. This story is a powerful one. I think when you tell it about the success that these coaches and these programs have had, it's not hard to inspire people to want to give to help, whether that's our coaches or our student athletes. And I'm excited to tell that story, whether it's through the collective or whether it's through traditional fundraising means or just tapping into people's networks. I'm excited to have those conversations.
We'll go to Jake next.
Hey, Mark. Jake Epstein, the Daily Northwestern. You've had quite the journey ranging from playing NESCAC football, coaching at various professional and collegiate levels, to now being the AD at a Power 4 institution. How has your experience both as a player, a student athlete, and a coach influenced your perspective and philosophy as an athletic director, and with it, your goals for the future of the athletic department here at Northwestern?
Yeah, thanks. I think balance is what it's provided for me. Like, I was a lousy athlete, but I got to play Division III football at Colby and made some great memories. You know, I wouldn't have had the opportunity to go to Colby without football. I wouldn't have been able to afford Colby without football. So that a lot of life lessons in there. And I think it's always provided balance when, you know, you think about sort of Colby versus like USC, where I was immersed in football. Those are two completely different worlds. But it always allowed me, I think, internally have a priority on academics and the comprehensive student-athlete development, because that's where I came from and that's what I was about. And all the stops in between, like I said, I think whether it was Syracuse or USC or certainly Villanova, that commitment to a comprehensive student-athlete experience was part of their mission as well. And it's something that I know fits here in President Schill's vision. I think that's why, you know, our student athletes are connected in such a strong way, and that's why people want to give back and be connected to it.
I think we'll take a couple more. Chris?
Hi, Mark. Chris with Fox 32 Chicago. President Schill kind of mentioned the priority number one of keeping athletes safe. And follow a little bit on what Andy's question is, what are some ways that you specifically can follow through with athlete safety and making sure the athletes here are secure?
Around safety for our student athletes?
Yes.
Yeah, well, like I said, education is going to be something first and foremost we'll get in front of the student athletes to let them know how much the importance of the uncompromising principle of treating each other well, right? That's an uncompromising philosophy of Northwestern athletics moving forward. So part of that is going to take a look at our organizational chart and the way we oversee each and every program. I'm just starting, thanks to Pat. He's provided an unbelievable resource for me about the way we administer each and every program, because I think each one of these now require a much deeper involvement based on all that we're facing. So it's a combination of the head coach and the administrator with my leadership to look at the nuances of each program. Each program faces different challenges. When you're a head coach overseeing 110 football players versus a lacrosse team that may have 26 women, the challenges are different. One's not bigger or more important than the other, but each program, I think, requires nuances. And my approach is, with sport administration, is that we want somebody immersed in that program to work with the head coach, to whether that's fundraising, whether it's the compliance, whether it's safety, the academic piece. I want our administrators in the weeds and connected to each and every program. So that's going to be our approach.
We'll take two more. We'll go Brendan and then Josh.
Hi, Mr. Jackson, Brendan Preisman from Inside NU. You've mentioned revenue maximizing quite a bit, and you also do have some experience in professional football as well as in the collegiate ranks. What sort of lessons do you think you're going to be able to take from your experience with professional football to try and bring that revenue maximization to something that, as you said, hasn't really been run like a business?
When you think about, my experiences around the NFL with two entirely different organizations with the Raiders and the Patriots, but objective would be the same. The objective is the bottom line, to generate revenue. And whether that's meaning winning games correlating to generating revenue, or selling tickets generating revenue, or marketing generating revenue, that's the mission and objective of each and every one of those organizations. Like I said earlier, we're not built that way. At Villanova, I use this example all the time. The head of our ticket operation also had oversight of men's soccer. And, so he was dealing with, parents or alumni in the afternoon and trying to sell tickets in the morning. At an NFL organization, it doesn't work that way, right? Those are jobs that are committed full-time to generating revenue. That's why we have to look at our department differently. The structure of our department needs to be examined so that we're maximizing revenue streams. The way we look at this stadium, and Pat Ryan Jr. and I have spent a lot of time over the last 3 or 4 days examining the plans, giving me an education and understanding of the way that stadium hopes to generate revenue, provide a fan experience. We're looking at it a very innovative way, much like an NFL organization, on how we're going to structure that. So we'll think outside the box. I'm not going to say there's going to be a major dramatic overhaul, but I think there are changes coming to the way we operate on a day-to-day basis.
Take one last from Josh.
Hey, Mark. Congratulations. Josh Friedman with WGN
Josh.
TV. I know you're thinking big picture with the new stadium, but just what was the experience like with the family this weekend at the Lakeshore Stadium? And as a guy who's, you played college football, you've been around the game for a long time, just how unique of an environment is that going to be in the interim for the next couple of years?
Yeah, it was awesome. It's been a whirlwind. So, understand, I just got this job Wednesday night, and then, so that was New York, and then Thursday was Philly, and then Friday I'm in Evanston. I've never been here before. I'd never visited campus, which goes to speak to the reputation in our industry. Anybody that you talk to about the facilities, the campus, you don't have to see it. You just don't, because it's amazing, and that did not disappoint. My children I have 2 in college, and 1 in graduate school, 1 in high school. I tell you where they go to school, but I said to where my oldest went to college in front of the field hockey team the other morning, and they booed me. Yeah, so I won't do that again, and Kelly's already glaring at me like I can't mention certain schools. But everybody from President Schill to Julie to Chip to Steve Wilson, who's here, to all these guys, they're just an amazing, welcoming, warm, amazing experience. They arrived. I got in earlier in the morning, but my wife arrived. Everybody was around Friday night and saw the sunset Friday night over the lake, and we're in the Ryan Fieldhouse, and the setting, it's breathtaking. And you'll appreciate my 17-year-old Sean. He'll love the fact that I just mentioned his name on this. It's a junior in high school. He's adamant, Dad, I'm not leaving high school to come here. You know that, right? That was kind of his stance when I got the job. And then Friday night, I could see his eyes lighting up as we went from facility to facility. And then after dinner, he said, Dad, if you get a nice house, there's a chance I might come a little earlier. So that conversation happened. So at least the seed's been planted, and then you'll appreciate the next day at the game. Of course, my other son sees the boats out on the harbor there. Is there what you call it, a harbor on the lake? I don't know if you call it a harbor, on the lake. And we're going to get a boat, right, Dad? We're going to get a boat. I'm like, no, we're not getting a boat, But so they loved it. They absolutely loved it, top to bottom. They all just went back yesterday.
Thank you, everybody, for coming out today. Really appreciate everybody coming out to Welsh-Ryan Arena For members of the media, we'll do some additional availability up here on the stage momentarily. Thank you, and I hope everybody has a wonderful day.
Great job.
Okay, thanks.